Welcome back to Carib 21, where we share what's trending in and around the Caribbean. If it's your first time joining us, please feel free to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing content. So today I want to talk about Vice President Kamala Harris. So earlier this week, Vice President Harris released a 5-point plan for black men. Number 5 in that plan is the legalization of marijuana. And people are saying, wait a minute. Like, first of all, I did not think that it was possible to create an agenda for a specific group and a subsection of a specific group. So it's not a plan for black family, it's a plan for black men, because she's doing very poorly with black men in the community. So that is, people are like, wait a minute, I didn't know that was possible. And then to add to that, the number 5 in that plan, the legalization of marijuana. So a lot of people are taking offense to it and saying that, okay, so like this old stereotype with black men and marijuana, she's perpetuating a stereotype. So what do you think about it? Do you think that it was insulting to black men for her to propose that the legalization of marijuana will overwhelmingly be beneficial to black men? And what do you think her father thinks about this now? Because remember, I reported this months ago that her father was upset about the stereotype when she did that interview on the Breakfast Club, perpetuating the old stereotype of Jamaicans and marijuana. Let's talk about it.
The family feud on the Democrat side.
Oh, gosh. Do you remember when Kamala Harris, she had that radio interview with Breakfast Club? It was released. We talked about it. She admitted that she smoked pot. When they asked her if she was pro-legalizing marijuana, she said, of course I smoked marijuana. Half my family's from Jamaica. Are you kidding me? Well, her own father had a problem with that. But listen to what she said on the Breakfast Club.
They say you oppose legalizing weed.
That's not true.
I know.
and look, I joke about it, half joking. Half my family's from Jamaica. Are you kidding me?
Have you ever smoked?
I have.
Okay. Like
and I inhale. I did inhale.
Okay.
It's really hysterical for the former attorney general of that state to talk about doing something illegal, laughing about it, giggling about it, and trying to get some traction for it. Among the people that were upset by it, her dad, Donald Harris, from Jamaica, an economics professor at Stanford University, says this: my dear departed grandmothers, as well as my deceased parents, must be turning in their grave right now to see their family's name, reputation, and proud Jamaican identity being connected in any way, jokingly or not, with the fraudulent stereotype of pot-smoking, joy-seeking, and in pursuit of identity politics. Man, yeah. What a blast at his daughter, who wants to be the next president.
No kidding. He added, and he had sent this statement to Jamaica Global Online. He said, speaking for myself and my immediate Jamaican family, we wish to categorically disassociate ourselves from this travesty. The campaign had no comment as of yesterday. It should be pointed out that Kamala Harris's parents divorced when she was younger, and her mother raised her and her sister.
But her father still had a big part of her life.
So that was the video that Vice President Harris, her dad, was upset about. The video that you just saw with the interview from Breakfast Club, saying that, you know, half my family is from Jamaica. Like, what do you think? Like, we love weed, you know? And I know as a Jamaican, that is one of the #1 stereotype that I think almost any Jamaican will tell you, that as soon as they leave Jamaica, anywhere I go in the world, like I remember when I just left Jamaica about 20 years ago or so, and I lived in Bermuda, like almost every single person, as soon as the word Jamaica come out of my mouth, they think that I'm a weed expert. And when I told people that I've never smoked in my life, people are saying like, no, that's not possible. Everyone in Jamaica smoke. So it is so interesting that this, as someone that her background is Jamaican, that this stereotype with the whole marijuana, with legalization of weed, has been following her entire career. And I don't know if you remember this exchange when she was running to be president of the United States, like in 2020. Take a look.
I want to bring the conversation back to the broken criminal justice system that is disproportionately negatively impacting black and brown people all across this country today. Now, Senator Harris says she's proud of her record as a prosecutor and that she'll be a prosecutor president, but I'm deeply concerned about this record. There are too many examples to cite, but she put over 1,500 people in jail for marijuana violations and then laughed about it when she was asked if she ever smoked marijuana.
So that was it. And it's so funny because I've been following, if you could say, the rise of Vice President Harris for a long time, amidst all the controversy of her locking up people for marijuana back in the days. Like even before she started running for president, 2019, I heard about her, and I at that time I didn't know that she was connected to Jamaica. But it is just so interesting because ever since learning about her, like marijuana seemed to be following her career. And to me, because since 2019, she's been talking about the legalization of marijuana and to do it like on the federal level. And then now this week to see that she repackaged it and put it under one of her 5-point plan to attract black men to vote Democratic. So my question is, as a black man in America, like if you're African American, if you're from Jamaica, you're from Barbados, you're from anywhere in Africa, Ghana, Kenya, Nigeria, wherever, did you take this as an offense, like as a black man living in America, that a presidential, someone campaigning to be president of the United States would put out a specific plan for black men in America, and weed or marijuana is a part of that plan? Sound off in the comment section and let me know if you felt offended about this, and if it's one of those stereotypes that you just feel like black people, like we can't just get over this stereotype, like it's one of those negative stereotypes that will just follow you as a black person. Sound off and let me know what you think. And she also did an interview again this week with Charlamagne, trying to defend her position on marijuana and trying to clear the record that she did not lock up over 2,000 men, in particular black men, when she was the top cop. So let's take a look.
One of the biggest allegations against you is that you targeted and locked up thousands of black men in San Francisco for weed.
It's just simply not true. And what public defenders who are around those days will tell you, I was the most progressive prosecutor in California on marijuana cases and would not send people to jail for simple possession of weed. And as vice president, have been a champion for bringing marijuana down on the schedule. So instead of it being ranked up there with heroin, we bring it down. And my pledge is, as president, I will work on decriminalizing it because I know exactly how those laws have been used to disproportionately impact certain populations and specifically black men.
Okay, so that was it. That was her with Charlamagne the God defending her record on marijuana, whether the legalization of marijuana or her stance on marijuana, clearing up the whole idea that she locked up a lot of, in particular, black men for smoking marijuana. So, but one of the interesting things is that, like, from 2016, I owned a restaurant and I had merch. And one of the merch that, my most popular merch, I'm going to put it on the screen, is like, yes, I'm Jamaican. No, I don't smoke weed. And that was one of my top merch, and I used to wear it like almost every day, and everywhere I go, like I would get a big laugh out of it because, as I said, as Jamaicans, that is probably the #1 stereotype for Jamaican men. Like weed smoking or holy pa baby mother. Like #1 stereotype of Jamaicans. So I am going to revamp this shirt, and by January or February next year, I'll have these merch available online. So for those of you who are following me, following the growth of Carib 21, you'll be able to purchase this merch coming January. Okay, so let's have a serious conversation now about this legalization of marijuana and the vice president connecting it to our 5-point plan for African American men. And as I said, this week, like social media went crazy. There are some people that don't have a problem with it, and then there are some others that find it to be offensive. So as I said, tell me, which side are you on? Do you think it's offensive, or do you say, like, you know what, I don't have a problem with it? And what people are saying that don't really have a problem with it is that in America, and not just America, the same thing in Canada too, when you look at the people that are disproportionately affected, people that end up with a criminal record, people that end up, you can't get a good job because of a criminal record just for smoking marijuana. Overwhelmingly, it's black men. So for people who do not have a problem with it, what they're saying is that this will kind of pave the way to get a lot of black men in America to get their criminal record, to get it expunged or to get whatever moved from their criminal record. So for those who don't have a problem with it, that is the main thing that they're saying. You know what? Like if you had a criminal record for years, you can't get a good job because you were caught smoking marijuana or whatever. This plan will make it possible for that to be removed from your records, and everything will be clear. And for those who are against it, you know, people point out that yes, not only black people that smoke weed in America, like everyone partake in smoking weed, so why single out black men? And you know, for a lot of people that are religious, for a lot of people that are, you know, there are some like highly educated people, you know, that look at marijuana and the stereotype that comes with it. They want to distance themselves from it. So a lot of people thought it was offensive, and people were even saying that if Donald Trump did the same thing, that they would say that Donald Trump is racist. For a white man to say, you know what, a part of my 5-point plan is to make sure you can smoke as much weed as you want, people would say it's racist. So sound off and let me know, what are your thoughts in the comment section? Which side are you on? Do you think that it will benefit African American men, or do you think it's just feeding into the whole stereotype thing? One of the things that is very disappointing for me though, like, and this is as someone that has never smoked in my life, like I don't believe that people should have been arrested for smoking marijuana. Like, I don't think it should have been illegal at any point. While people are able to smoke tobacco, people are able to smoke cigarettes, people are able to drink. So I'm one person that did not think that it was right to criminalize someone smoking. And I live in Canada, and it is legalized in Canada for the past, 5 years? But one of the things that is most disheartening to me, like living in Canada, is that, and I think the same thing is going to happen in America if it is decriminalized on a federal level, is that the people that suffer the most because of marijuana are black people. Anywhere in the world, like in Jamaica, they used to beat Rastafarian for smoking. A lot of Rastafarian lost their life. A lot of people got arrested. Long prison sentence in Jamaica for marijuana. In Canada, the same thing. But in Canada now, what is interesting is the people that suffer the most when marijuana was criminalized, the people that have the most criminal record that were black people in Canada, even though like we are like less than 2% of the population. But what you find now is that it is legalized now, and the people that are benefiting from it, anywhere you go in Ontario, in particular Toronto, you walk, and for every block you go on, there's a marijuana store, there's a cannabis store. They call it now. They change the name. They're more referring to it now as cannabis. It's a more sophisticated name. It's not weed, ganja, or marijuana. Cannabis. So, and the people that are benefited from it right now are not the people that suffered when it was illegal. So I am going about my own business, and I'm seeing I'm seeing Japanese, I'm seeing Chinese people owning dispensary for cannabis, and I'm like, wait a minute, like I didn't even know that Chinese people smoke marijuana. Like I've never in my life associate like a Japanese person or a Chinese person with marijuana. But when you look at the stores now that are across the country in Canada, like less than 0.0% are owned by black people. Like the people that are benefiting from it now is the government, because in Canada, the government is the biggest drug dealer, as we'd call them now, because it was considered a drug before. So the government, because you cannot buy cannabis in Canada without the government. The government control 100% of the cannabis. If you're going to buy it legally, you have to buy it from the government to sell it back. So that is it. Do you think that is going to happen in America too, where, yeah, like a lot of black men may have had criminal record, but then when it comes to the time now to reap the benefit, then you'll find people from other community like Jewish, you'll find like as I said, Japanese, Chinese, like Anglo-Saxon, white, all those people with the millions of dollars will just like invest that money in marijuana, and the people that suffer the most will not get, a piece of that pie. So, as I said, sound off in the comment section. Let me know what you think about this conversation. Do you think it was offensive? Or do you think, no, it's time for it to be legalized or decriminalized on the federal level, and you don't mind it being attached to African American black men? Let me know what you think. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing content. And remember, peace. I'm out.